Hey everyone! So, today we're diving into a really profound explainer, an exploration into the deepest layers of human connection, emotion, and ultimately, honesty. We're looking at a brilliant piece of philosophy that strips away all those superficial layers of how we interact with the world and with each other. This isn't just about reading words, it's honestly more of a meditative journey. We're going to unpack the mechanics of attraction, the fundamental differences in how our minds and hearts process things, and finally, the raw and sometimes pretty uncomfortable reality of human speech. So let's take a breath, get centered, and prepare to look closely at the hidden truths that kind of govern our lives.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to genuinely reflect on your own life for a second here. Have you ever snapped at someone you cared deeply about? Have you ever had a moment where anger just took the wheel and words poured out of you? You know, the exact kind of words you immediately wished you could pull right back into your mouth? Right, we all have. It's a completely universal human experience. But why does it happen? And more importantly, what are those angry words actually made of? Throughout this explainer, we're going to trace a path from the very surface of human interaction all the way down to the deepest, most unfiltered depths of the soul to figure exactly that out.
Section 1. Basic Laws of Attraction.
Well, before we can understand the internal workings of our anger, we first need to understand the external world. How do we draw things to us? The source text outlines this fascinating hierarchy. And this brilliantly illustrates how attraction isn't just a flat concept, it scales upward. It moves from the purely material to the literally divine. So, step 1 is money. Money attracts the world. It's the base layer, the transactional foundation of everything. But moving up to step 2, we find beauty. Beauty goes a bit deeper. It attracts the heart. It moves past simple transactions and sparks real emotion. Then, step 3 elevates us even further to words. Words attract humans. It's through language and shared ideas that we forge true connection. But look at step 4, the absolute pinnacle of this scale, compassion. A compassionate deed doesn't just attract the world or the heart or other people. It attracts God. We're moving from the physical to the spiritual in 4 incredibly profound steps.
Let's just sit with the original source quote for a moment here. Money attracts the world. Beauty attracts the heart. Words attract humans. A compassionate deed attracts God. Think about where you spend most of your own energy on this scale.
Section 2. Difference between brain and heart.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we shift from external attraction to our internal mechanics. We're looking at the balancing act between human cognition and emotion. And it is a stark contrast. On one side, the brain is defined by its sharpness, a sharp memory. It's energetic, it's analytical, it's basically a steel trap designed for holding on to facts, which is exactly why you can remember a grudge from like a decade ago but totally forget where you put your keys this morning. But contrast that with the heart. The heart operates on a completely different, much warmer frequency. Its defining power isn't in holding on, it's in the soft, really graceful act of letting go. The heart possesses the profound ability to forget unnecessary things. And this isn't just about simple absent-mindedness. Actually, scratch that. It's not absent-mindedness at all. It is a superior form of emotional intelligence. The source text places immense philosophical weight on this concept. Holding on to every slight, every little irrelevant detail, all that baggage, that's easy. That's just the brain doing its mechanical job. But the ultimate quality, the true mark of inner peace, is actively filtering and releasing the unnecessary. It's having the wisdom to know what no longer serves you and the emotional strength to just let it fade away.
The text captures this dichotomy so perfectly. A sharp memory is a good quality of the brain, but the ability to forget unnecessary things is the best quality of the heart. So what are the unnecessary things taking up space in your life right now? What's your brain sharply holding on to that your heart desperately needs to forget?
Section 3. Words and Hidden Truth.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the rawest part of the human experience. We're going to look at the unfiltered truth that lives inside our speech, specifically inside our anger. On one hand, we have measured words. When we're showing love or just operating in polite society, we measure what we say. The words are carefully thought out, carefully weighed, and safely delivered. But then, there's the other side, scattered words. When anger rises, the measuring stops completely. We throw out everything currently residing in our minds. It's a chaotic, entirely unfiltered explosion of thought and feeling.
The source text uses a brilliant metaphor here. It suggests that thoughtfully spoken words often contain a dye or a filter. Think about a recent time you were at a social gathering or maybe a work meeting where you smiled, nodded, and spoke very carefully, basically masking your true feelings just out of pure politeness. Well, that polite masking is the artificial coloring. It's a fabrication. It might be beautiful, it's definitely socially necessary, but it's fundamentally died. It's totally altered from its natural state.
So, the crucial point is this. Amidst all the chaos, the shouting, the messiness, and the deep regret of those scattered angry words, there is precisely one thing you can completely rely on. Just one singular, undeniable absolute that emerges when all those polite filters are burned away by anger.
When showing love, we speak measured words. But when angry, we throw out everything in our mind. Thoughtfully spoken words may have dye, but scattered words will always only contain the truth. Let that heavy realization settle for a second. The beauty of measured speech often hides reality. But the ugly, scattered explosion of anger, it strips away the dye entirely, leaving literally nothing but the raw, uncolored truth.
And so, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to carry with you today. As we navigate our relationships, our love, our inevitable moments of anger, and our deep human connections, what is it that you truly value? When you look at the people in your life, do you prefer a beautifully filtered lie or an ugly, scattered truth? Thank you so much for taking this deep dive with me on this explainer today. Keep reflecting and keep seeking the truth.